Hi there, I am Amelia Fabriches, and this is my introduction video for AEP 800. A little bit about me. This is the beginning of my third year teaching, and I'm starting my second year in this program. I teach at Heston High School in Heston, Kansas. We are a school of about 270 students. We are just north of Wichita, 30 miles. We're a large 3A school in the state of Kansas, one of the larger ones. There I teach AP Government and Geography. I also facilitate some college courses through Hutch, both psychology and sociology. That's new for me this year, so learning kind of the dynamics of what that looks like for us. In the fall, I am the assistant coach for girls tennis, and in the spring, I am the assistant coach for boys tennis. And I love getting to do those things. I'm also the Stuco sponsor up at the high school. Originally, I am from Waukene, Kansas, so just west of Hays, about 30 miles. I did my undergrad in Lindsborg, Kansas at Bethany College. I studied secondary social science education, and I got a minor in religion. So critical reflection on why technology and innovation is so important in a classroom. I think it is extremely necessary to be dynamic. Technology is ever changing, and it is important that in a classroom it is also doing the same. You can't do the same thing over and over. Things become pretty archaic pretty quickly, and students are on top of those things in their personal lives, so we need to be keeping up with them and pushing them as well. It must be used appropriately, okay, channeling how to use technology in a productive educational way. Technology, I always tell kids, is a tool, and like any tool, if it's not used correctly, it can be dangerous. However, if that tool is used appropriately, it can help you make jobs a whole lot more simple and get things done a whole lot more efficiently. Technology increases resources, efficiency, and opportunity. Kids have so much more opportunity to be creative, to reach out, to have a larger audience, to have a more authentic audience. Also resources, they just can get their hands on so much information and so many good sources at the click of a button. And so it's extremely important to set our students up for that. I personally think it's really important for students to be savvy in technology. It's not going away. It's going to be a part of whatever they're doing. And also for them to be curious and for them to tinker around and learn things and discover, and doing that with technology is a very important skill for them. So critical self-reflection, being this is my third year teaching, technology has always been a massive part of my teaching style. Since I've started student teaching, Google Classroom has been a part of my daily technology. We have one-to-one Chromebooks at the school I work at, and it's a staple in my class. Beyond that, we function with Google. We use all different types of programs. I create hyperdocs, and kids create slides, and we do Google Forms, and we do all kinds of things with Google. It's an amazing thing. I'm constantly on the lookout for new websites, new gadgets, new ways to push kids, new ways to assess kids, and different ways for them to have an assignment. I do a little bit of flipped type of stuff. I use YouTube all the time. Kids do a lot of projects. Use Twitter and Flipgrid. Kids have to video themselves. Quizlet. They use it. I use it. Quizzes, Quizalize, all these different things. And I think it's really important to give these students these opportunities to do those things. I personally really like doing it, finding it, implementing it, and watching students be creative and take off with it. I think it's really important to do that for student accountability and interest. Giving them a worksheet and saying do this just isn't as effective, I think, in today's world and education, and there's just not as much accountability there. And so making kids do videos, making kids create something, the accountability is up, the interest is up, and the pride, I think, is there as well. So my plan to be better using technology would be to provide more examples. I'll often find these really great resources, but sometimes I'll give kids the resource, but I don't always have a great example that I've either created or I found. And when I do have that, I see that students do a better job, and I think it's important that they get to see an example and they understand how that goes. But that just takes a little more time on my part. Also, sharing my findings. I always hesitated, like when I found something, I never wanted to really share it with other teachers. I just never really thought to. But then I came to the realization that either students were telling other teachers, or if I did mention it to another teacher, they found it very beneficial. And then I would do the same. They would maybe share something with me. Our librarian does a really good job of sending us some information and trying to keep us up on those things. And so I think just communicating, doing that would be a part of my plan. I lack in a smart board. That's something I wish I had, some type of interactive smart board or a Promethean board, something like that. I have a standard projector and I have Apple Television, which those things are useful, but we actually don't have any smart boards in our high school. There's some in the district, but not in our high school, and so that's something that I wish I had access to for my students. So funding and how will that affect my plan? Funding, of course, is limited. However, I can still share my findings. I can do that with other teachers. I can share those things, and then hopefully within the budget, there's some opportunity for me to go and do some PD. If that's something I'm interested in, go and you know, learn things about Google or different technology or different programs, and then share those things and become a resource for my school, and not just within my classroom. Also, grants are becoming more and more popular. I know our community provides some, but then I know there's just so many websites nationwide that you can fill out. It just takes some time. They're more readily available, and there's just more opportunity. And when I've taken the time to fill these types of things out, I have had success in a lot of ways. It's just kind of take some time. So I guess maybe getting to do the personal development, I can see the school board and our administration being on board with that, but things like a smart board and stuff, potentially getting some grants to maybe help offset that cost would be my plan there. And so just being proactive and trying to find those resources. So looking forward to learning with all of you. I'm always excited to learn more about new ways to implement different exciting technology for kids. They get bored with certain things pretty quickly. So thanks for listening.